Girish back with another interesting guest. For some reason, we do not have a video support this time. Please bear with us. I really have someone very interesting on this topic, on this discussion show, 5 Minute MicroSaaS, Nick, who pretty much is very well known on Twitter. He happens to be a person who has interesting multiple businesses, and we are trying to understand from his per se, being a solopreneur, how he does it, what it takes to really build multiple revenue streams, and how should one really think about running multiple revenue streams in the present age. Nick, thank you so much. Thanks for allowing me to ask you a few questions surrounding this topic of solopreneur, multiple revenue streams. But before that, if you could give your introduction to the audience, like who you are, what you do, what you were doing earlier, it would be much more helpful.
Yeah, for sure. Also, thanks for having me on this call, Girish. So I've been in design for 13 years. The last time I worked for a company was at Meta, and I recently left Meta and started indiehacker in Feb of 2023. And since then, I've been starting different ventures. I don't know whether I should call them companies, but different smaller projects to try to see if I can get revenue in a short and quick period of time, ranging from cleaning business to a virtual assistant business to a design studio, design kits, and few other like AI related stuff. And there are a lot of ups and downs during the process in the last 4 months that I've started doing indiehacker. Like the first month was all about like trying to figure out what I should be sharing, because design is my passion. And I didn't see indie hackers like having any association with Move Virtual or the assistant business that was actually making money. So I started focusing on design, and that's how I grew my Twitter audience, and I slowly start sharing about what's happening on the Move Virtual side of things, and people are interested because now there's an audience like who want to engage and want to learn what exactly is happening.
Okay. So how did it come about, like an idea to you? Like, I know like you are good at design. You picked up design as something which you could offer to the customers. You pretty much were active earlier, and you knew about how to build a venture like this, or you were trying earlier constantly on the side, or was this your first shot and then a series of events happened? Because there is a physical business which you run, then there is a digital business you run, then there is a service angle of a business what you run. So very diverse portfolio you have. So how did you arrive at each one of them, and what was the thought process behind?
Yeah, for sure. So I didn't have any idea of indiehacker prior to starting this. So that's one thing. Like I had no idea. Like I was solely concentrated on my work, getting the paycheck in, moving to Meta, and then making sure that I make good money and also be seen by directors and VPs, trying to create a mark within the company. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed working at Meta and then traveling and then all the perks. But I thought like I need to do something different. So I've been doing real estate investments in Canada for some time. So I thought like, oh, why not do something that doesn't require a lot of money upfront? So I stopped. I just stopped investing in real estate. I have few investments. I just left them and converted them into rentals. So there's rental income coming from there. And I thought, oh, why? For some random reason, I thought like, why don't I start a cleaning business? But it would be a remote cleaning business. So I don't go. I have people go and clean the houses, but I was more interested in the entire economics of how a cleaning industry works. So I tried attaching technology to it, try to create more automations around it, and also like end of the day still have to interact with actual people, which would be your providers who are cleaning the houses, your customers. And during this process, so this was right after I left Meta. That was in Feb, where I was trying to like figure out what should I be doing, and I'm also like what should I be posting on Twitter. So I found out like, oh, I could use someone's help, because I didn't like the customer side of things, like actually talking to customers. So like it just irritated me. I could not have my lunch. I could not just sit. Like a call comes in, I have to run to my office and pick up the call, and I have to talk in a different tone. And like I didn't like the entire process. But I like the tech side of it. I like the business. There's money in it. Uh, that was an opportunity that I like thought, oh, I could actually build other businesses based on what I just experienced at the house cleaning business. So the first business was a virtual assistant business, which is Move Virtual, like helping out other small businesses in either getting revenue. So that was the initial. Uh, the reason Move Virtual was like did pick up really quickly from get-go was because all the virtual assistants have been pre-trained to actually get revenue. So usually virtual assistants that you get from outside, from any agency, they only work on taking calls, scheduling calls, and ending the call. They're not trained, or they're not told how to close deals. And from there, like virtual came in, and then I thought I would share that. Then I thought like, oh, indie hacking community is filled with devs. Okay, maybe I could actually use my design knowledge in the indie hacking community and then show people how they can design better landing pages or better apps. And it slowly picked up, and people liked, because I was giving out a lot of stuff. Like one thing that I've learned from day one is give more than asking. So give things for free before you ask for money. And that's how Indie Design Kit happened. And I didn't have anything when I started Indie Design Kit. I just posted a landing page, asked for some feedback, made some changes, and we have more than 800 people who bought the Indie Design Kit. People still buy it every day. And that's one of the best thing that I've done, where I don't design because I love being in Figma, designing things. The Indie Design Kit made me like, oh, I can actually sell something, design it once, and people just will buy it. Yeah, so that was one. Even before that, I started Get Baked. Get Baked is more of a design service for indie hackers, a really cheap version of what you can get from a design studio. What I saw was like most of the indie hackers like this, they're fighting their way through actually getting money, getting customers, and design is afterthought. And even when they get design, it's a pre-baked version, which is Tailwind, and every page looks the same. So I said, oh, don't pay me much. I started purposefully. I always keep my products really, really low. Like Indie Design Kit was $9. Now it's $79. So once you reach a level where you can actually ask for more, I asked for more money, and people still pay that money. But across, like even when I did freelancing, I always start really low and then quickly increase the price once I see the value. Same with Get Baked. When I started it, I think I did it for like free, and then $25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 250, 350 per screen. And I only do that. The only reason I still have Get Baked is because of like trying to help out indie makers, indie hackers, and trying to be relevant within the community. That okay, like Nick helps out people, and which is what I like. So, and then that's Get Baked, Move Virtual, the house cleaning company, Indie Design Kit, and then I have my own design studio that I don't share anything about, where I work with startups. So that's on its own, where it actually needs my like time and effort. And then I collaborated with Alex. She's a UX head of UX design at a agency from Spain. She's from Poland. So I thought like, oh, I can't do everything. Design is something that you need to design. Like you have to use your hands. Like it's not a software like you build for 1 month and then people just come and use it. It's a service-based design. So I started collaborating with her, and then we started a design studio called Design. Uh, and it's still like we are still working on it, and we just like got our first client earlier this month. We have few clients booked, like few meetings booked up, trying to see if we can convert them into actual paying customers. But yeah, it's like this is all the success stories, how things just like one after the other just pick up, and then people help uh, make it happen, which I really appreciate from the community. It's just hard when you don't have the audience, then like anything that you post is just in void. But like before I go into the downs, if you have any questions, I can answer them.
Yeah, my question was, it all sounds so good. Like, is it really true that you never had any problem? But what I felt was definitely there should be a lot of learning, because if you are on this brighter side, you should have seen something where you would have done mistakes. You would have learned how to do marketing the right way. You would have met the right people at the right time. It's rare sometimes, but if it is happening to you every time, then we really need to know the secret.
Yeah, then there are a few things that happened at the right time for sure. Leaving better at the right time, getting into clean business, and then finding similar businesses. Somehow I found few groups which had like where people were like investing into other ways to earn money. So I had few clients from there. So that was the initial kick for me to, I can actually make a business out of this. And then, but there were downfalls. There were a lot of learnings. Initial first 2 months, I went through like, I didn't sleep for 20, like I was up for like 20, 22 hours every day because I had to come up with documents. I have to train the VAs. I have to talk to multiple clients. People are booking 6 to 8 calls every day. And in between, I have to like eat, make sure that I have 2 dogs. I have to like make sure they're not depressed. And I have to make sure that I'm eating and like I'm like healthy enough. But the 1 month was the worst month where I even once like almost drove off the mountain. Like I live on a mountain, and as you go down the mountain, it's not the usual way on the mountains. It's like swiggly, and I was sleeping in the car because I didn't have any sleep because I was like, oh, this is happening. Like I need to be here all the time. I need to make things happen. Like I can see the money coming in. So there was a big burnout. If you go back into my timeline in Twitter right now, I don't talk about it, but I posted a lot about burnout. Like I had like I think 3 different posts about burnouts. I took time off. I was still active, but I took time off from work. I stepped away from Move Virtual, like because I see that VA virtual assistants are taking care of the business. I don't have to do much. So that was one, like a big lesson. And the other thing was over promising. Like someone says, oh, I want this, I want that. And I just say, oh, yeah, we can do that because I need that customer. And that did backfire when people come back and say, oh, like you promised me this, but I don't see that happening, or it's taking too much time. And what I didn't understand initially was being a designer and then leading teams. When you have people who can do things and they have experience, you don't mind assigning or like delegating things. But when you don't know what the other person can do, in my case in Move Virtual, you can't delegate. You feel like you should do everything. So I was doing everything, and which was not right. I had to give someone else the opportunity to work on things so that they can make mistakes and then they learn in the process. It took me some time, those burnouts, to make me feel like, okay, I should step away from doing everything. I should believe in others, and they should believe in me. And those are the few downfalls that I had. That there were like multiple churns during the process. With the design side of things, I didn't have much problem. No downsides, no burnouts. It was all like more of a play for me because I'm in design. I know how to control or how fast I can design. It's in my hands. I never outsourced any of the design. It's all me, and then Alex joined. So it was more balanced with design.
Interesting. So
I do create hype when I launch something. So I don't know how much people get it, but also sometimes I don't know like if that's kind of marketing that I do, but I try creating a bit of a hype.
yeah, so what I saw from your timeline, and if I really actually see it, it is much more sometimes a deliberate effort to share certain details in a certain manner. Okay.
Yes.
And I can make it out being a person on Twitter and who can read the things. So the question to you next would be like, what happens if you don't know marketing, being this individual indie hacker, and now you enter with an intent to share your creations with the audience, say like on a platform like Twitter or LinkedIn or other platforms, which can add value to the audience growth and views and other things. How do you think a person should approach it, like a starter who comes in? Because every person who comes in comes with an intent to actually gain followers rather than to give knowledge. Okay, so the aspect of giving what you told earlier should be in a very strategized manner. We need strategy because you pretty much have to survive selling this
Yeah.
product, being an indie hacker. So you should
Yes.
not shy away from telling like, I don't need audience. I don't. You need money. You need audience, but also you should learn the knack of what you have developed. That is like giving information in a very interesting manner. So if you could share a few tips on that, and also if you read any articles based on the kind of knowledge what you have gained, like certain books or certain things you follow, please share that. It would definitely help a lot of individuals here.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll start with like how much I failed initially when I joined Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
because I thought like I could make this happen with design. Like people will like my design. I'm coming from this big company. I worked at Netflix. I can do this. Like people will just like, oh, just follow me. Uh, and then I realized like that's not going to happen. The community that I was focusing on is it's not up for it till they actually see there's value in it. Uh, so do not go in that tunnel vision of like, oh, people will just find the value. I don't have to do much, or I'll just post whatever I want. That I think is really good from my end, and I expect people to see it. That's not going to happen unless you create something viral and you have someone with a big account retweets or comments, and then there's a quick increase in followers, and then there's a like a like it will just slows down. So one thing that I've done initially with my strategy was, as I've said, giving. So I used to search like, okay, so the first strategy didn't work. So me posting on Twitter every day about design or other things didn't work. No one was seeing at my posts. No one cares because I don't have audience. Why should they interact with me? And they don't know who I am. So I started interacting with. So every single person says the same thing. Like you have to reply. So tweet less, reply more, and so that people see the value in you and then they can follow. But I did it differently. So I said, I'll reply, but I'll reply it with a value that I can provide as a designer. So that's the biggest strategy that has worked for me, even to date, with 7,000 odd followers. I still do that. these days I do it more of a quote tweet instead of a reply. Before it was a reply because people had no idea who I was. If someone talks about design, has a new landing page that they have designed, I used to reply saying, oh, I think this is how you can do this, and these are the things that have improved. And people are nice because when you give something for free and add value and you don't ask for anything. Like I didn't have any link, anything about design. I never asked for $1 for 2 months. I was just giving out free designs, free advices. Every advice was visual. Rarely I did text-based advices in terms of design. So people actually saw instant value. And that's one thing that I would recommend every single person to do. That's my strategy. Like I've seen few others try that, and it works. People see the value in it. People see the effort that you put in it, and it will convert. And in terms of articles and books, to be honest, I don't read articles or read any books. Actually, like if I have to read a book, I'll be sleeping on the bed. The last time I read a book was in 2012 when I was on a flight to just sleep. I haven't read any books till now, so I'm more of like a doer. I read, but not books, just tech side of things and like what's happening around the world, those kind of stuff. But nothing inspirational, nothing where I can get, oh, I need to follow this strategy to do this. I learn as I do things, and I might fail, but at least I feel like I'm learning. It might take some time, but I feel like it's more authentic rather than find a strategy. And I think at least till now, I didn't even know that I was using few strategies until someone mentioned it over a call. So yeah, this is what I do, and it has worked out till now.
Great. So that's interesting. It sounds like you have found what you want to do as of now. That's how I'm
Yeah,
actually sensing it, because the way you are explaining things, it makes it sound very easy, but I know what it is. You are in that zone where you are actually doing things and you know exactly how you have to really think through and do things and present things and going all about it. So are there any plans where you start doing playbooks uh, or anything of that sort which people could refer to in the coming days? That's what you are planning. Anything on
uh,
those lines? On the
yeah,
business?
I had few people who wanted to like, oh, I have a group, a paid group. Purposefully, I created it. Like that's another product, like not a product, but more of a service called Value, which I've been talking a lot about. Like provide value, give things to people. So someone, oh, why don't you start this? I said, okay, I'll create a landing page, added 2 buttons, link them to Stripe. People paid $1,500. I was like, okay, I didn't have anything. And then I saw the power of network. If you can show that you can actually make things happen, if you have proper like followers who believe in what you do and believe that you can actually like teach or let them know, people will pay for things. And in the group, people have been asking me, like, oh, do you have a playbook? Can we see it? Uh, as you can see, like I'm like deep down into too many projects right now. So I don't even, I'm not even active in the group. I need to be. I try to do more one-on-ones with people and try to do like help them with design and other things if they have any questions. But yeah, I plan to do a playbook, but yeah, I have no idea when that's going to happen. But yeah, but I think I'll wait till Move Virtual reaches minimum 100K worth of profit, then I'm going to do or revenue whenever that happens.
Okay, so what would be an usual day for Nick, and how much attention do you pay towards keeping yourself healthy and balancing it out? I don't believe in work-life balance. I don't think there is something like that, but yeah, wherever we work on something and we are in the zone, that pretty much helps us. But I just want to
Yeah.
understand what's the usual routine for you in terms of a day?
Uh, yeah, it changes quite a bit. I don't have a routine per se, but yeah, I wake up and right now it's summer in Canada, so I try to get the sun as much as I can. So I wake up and go out in the backyard and play with the dogs, make sure they're all tired up. And then I get ready and check my emails and messages. Most of my like team Move Virtual, they start at 6 a.m. PST. So they work for clients in EST time zone. So trying to see like if they need any help. Most of the time they don't need any help. And then at 9, I have my own virtual assistant for my own work and my projects. So she comes in and then she takes over. So and then I don't so I don't eat for like 12 to 14 hours, and then I eat, trying to be, I don't know what I'm trying to achieve, but I don't see big decrease in weight as of now. But and then I try working. I don't work. I try working because of so many things that I do. Like I switch from Move Virtual, Get Baked Out Design, Value, Indie Design Kit. I even hired a design intern. Uh, so I'm like trying to see if he has everything that he needs. So like a lot of context switching. And then actually I work around 8 or 9 p.m. PST till 12. So that's my like zone where I just sit down and do things and make things happen. And that's when I'm also active on Twitter. And that's my usual like routine. So I usually don't work during the daytime.
Got it. Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any last things you want to share to the audience? There are a lot of topics, but I think I called it 5 minutes and it has extended to 35 minutes. So I just do.
Okay. Yeah, nothing much. I think like from my own thing, give before you ask anything in the community or anything that you do, even in your personal life. And it has worked for me. It does take a lot of effort to make people believe in you. And that's on you. If you don't want to make people believe in you, that's okay. But if that's my strategy, and I feel like it actually works, and it has worked in this case, in the Twitter case, in the last 4 5 months, and also in my own personal life, and I see that happening, and I'll use that going forward throughout my life.
Thank you so much, Nick. And yeah, it was quite interesting because you told it and it sounded so easy, but I really know how individuals are really slogging it out there. But it feels
Yeah,
like you have got that mojo in terms of whatever environment you have
for
created for
now, for
yourself,
now.
and things are going well. And I'm pretty sure you'll come up with many interesting stuffs in the days ahead. And I hope I
Yeah,
get another chance uh, sometime, and we could
yeah.
discuss.
Maybe I'll have more stressful stories. Then I think 5 months into indie hacking has been fun.
Yeah,
So let's see on next call. I might have more interesting stories.
yeah. Thank you so much. And guys,
Thank you.
next time I'll come back with another interesting guest, but I'll mention Nick's Twitter handle. Go follow him. He really shares interesting information, and try to see if you could learn from him, and maybe you could also connect with him, because as you see, he's interesting. He has shared his story, and let's see who the next interesting guest would be. Thank you so much, Nick. Have a
Thank you.
great week
Thanks for
ahead. Thank
having
you
me.
so much. Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Bye.